What happened there? I literally don't have a clue what happened to the live there. Sorry, people. That was it. A bit dodgy. So let's get this on. Let's get this mic on a little bit, huh? And see if we can get any more people in. I think one of the mic one really went black there. My camera was that. I don't know what the hell happened there, mate. I'm really sorry. I don't know if you got anything from what I said. Basically, my family, to give a bit of backstory, I was going pretty much down the wrong path before I went into the military. I was going to college and stuff, and I was on track to go to university, and I was doing like sport as you normally do, as a lot of young lads do, go into sport because you think it's the only option. But I wasn't really interested in learning at that point in my life. I was going out, experimenting, drinking, all that sort of good stuff. Um, and then I decided to join the army. My dad was happy because he was in the military himself, but obviously he knew what it entailed, so he was a bit worried about it. And at that point, we were still in Afghanistan and stuff like that. Um, so he was worried about that. My mum was just proud, really, to be honest. Typical mum. My granddad and my nana and all that sort of stuff, they were proud because my granddad served as well in the RAF. He was just gutted that I didn't go in the RAF instead of the army. But yeah, they were all proud eventually. Just obviously natural worries that any parent's going to have with what goes on in the world. Um, it is what it is. They got on with it, and as soon as they see you pass out and stuff like that, and they see you come home that first time, you're making your own money, and you're able, and you sort of grow up a little bit. I definitely needed it at that time in my life to grow up. Taught me discipline, taught me how to listen to people, how to follow commands. Not always when I wanted to, but it taught me a lot of stuff, and I needed it at that point in my life. So my family were happy with that, and it worked out well because I don't know what I'd be doing now if I didn't go in the military. If I'm honest, probably would have ended up dropping out of college and being lazy. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, guys, ask away. The point of this Q&A is just to pretty much answer any of your questions, what you've got. I know a majority of people that watch my channel are wanting to go into the military, but if you have got anything fitness related or anything like that, I can answer that. I'm through my first week of my marathon prep at the moment, so I'm feeling pretty good to got that first week out the way. And it should be plain sailing from now. I'm doing 3 runs a week with a little bit of strength training in and around, and then I play basketball a couple of times a week as well. So it's all systems go. I'm going to try and achieve a sub 3 hour marathon. I'm going to go for. The last one I did was 3:45, but it was in rough terrain. It was up in Kielder, around Kielder Reservoir, and it's just undulating up and down, rock hard. Very, very tough. Would you recommend joining as an officer or a soldier? The difference between joining as an officer or a soldier is quite drastic. Obviously, you need A levels. You need a certain amount of UCAS points. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But it's not just that. You need to have some sort of leadership ability. And when you go down to go through all the officer entry requirements, they sort of grill you a little bit, and they do put you through your paces. They expect you to have a lot more confidence and be able to stand up and speak in front of people and things as you would expect from a leader to be able to do. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to be polished and be perfect, but you need to have a little bit more about you when it comes to sort of leadership aspects. If I had the ability to, when I was that age, I would have joined as an officer, just because you climb that rank straight away. You join as a second lieutenant, and you're still classed as a piece of shit. But when you get to like captain and stuff like that, you're on serious money. And obviously, your prospects when you leave the military, you've been an officer in the army, you've been a leader of 50, 100, 200 people. So you've got a lot more capabilities of getting into a better job. And you can obviously climb the ranks a lot quicker. So, but the thing you do miss is joining as an officer. If you go as a soldier, you with all the lads, you get to have a lot more fun. You don't have to be as professional at all times. Whereas an officer, you're seen as like a upper echelon sort of person. So you need to be careful what you say and what you do, and you're held to a lot higher standard than what you would be if you were a soldier. So it's just one of them things where you have to make a choice. If you can get in as an officer, fair play, because it's very, very tough. It's not an easy thing to do. Go down there and sit for all the tests that they have to do. Yeah. Would you recommend more of a strength-based program in the gym, focusing on compound squats, deadlifts, military press? Yeah, definitely. If you're especially if you're quite young as well, and you're just new to the gym, definitely focus on compound lifts. Focus on them core compound exercises, and you'll be plain sailing, because you're going to build a good base of strength there. If you're not training for obviously physique goals and stuff like that, then it doesn't really matter. You want to build strength, you want to build performance and power, and it's going to help prevent injury as well. So if you are doing running on the side as well, it's going to benefit that. I did my assessment last year, but I had some problems, and not with the army, but I passed my assessment. I had some problems, and I come back. Yeah, so you're going to go back to assessment centre. You had some problems last year, and you're going to go back. Good on you. It takes a lot to go back after you've failed assessment centre. I know a lot of young people that I worked with when I was working at the military preparation college. When you fail and you go up there and you've got to go back, and you're going to go back 3 months later, it takes a lot out of you mentally. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world. So fair play if you're going to go back. It's like I went into peak when I did P Company when I was in the military. I failed the first time through no one else's fault but my own, because I was just pissing it up in London. I was brand new in the army. I was pissing it up in London. I didn't train properly for it. I went away. I had about a month and a half until the next sort of course started, and I just knuckled down and prepped properly. And I went up and passed the second time. So it's good doing that. It gives you a little bit more perspective, and it wakes you up a little bit when you don't pass the first time, you don't distill through. As I can't join now because I have races, I'm due to them coming off. I turn 19. Yeah, I would start going through the application process before your braces come off. If you just go as far as you can before your braces come off. They sometimes let you go up and do sorry, my nose is running. I've had a cold. They sometimes let you go up and do the assessments and stuff like that, the fitness assessments, if I remember rightly. So you can go up there, you just can't get through the medical. As soon as they come off, you should be able to go. But having braces is a good thing, so it's definitely worth the work, mate, because it'll obviously give you sound teeth for probably the rest of your life. They told me I have to reapply. Yeah, you probably will do. I think if you fail the assessment centre after a certain amount of time, they close your application. I think it's a year. So if you go to assessment centre, you fail, and then you just forget about it, you leave it, you go home, you carry on with the rest of your life. If you don't keep in touch with the recruiters and stuff like that, then they will just close your application, and you have to go through the whole process again. So that's why it's good to just speak to them. Oh God, my nose is running like mad. Speaking of dental, do they care if you? Yeah, so they'll check your teeth and stuff like that when you go in, and they'll give you sort of a dental program. If you've got really bad dental hygiene, they can refuse you, I think, off the top of my head, but they sometimes they'll take you in and they'll sort your teeth out. I can remember because as a young lad, I didn't really care when I was that young. When I was 15, 16, people probably was a lot different now. But I used to eat loads of chocolate and stuff like that. I was a bit of a fat chod. I'm not going to lie. When I was younger, and I had to go to the dental centre a few times when I was in basic training just to get fillings and stuff like that done. That's why.